everybody and welcome back to another video here on the one and only Tribal Warrior YouTube channel. And of course, I am the Tribal Warrior, and in today's video, as you see by the thumbnail, as you see by the title, we'll be taking a look at my Wrestlemania 41 review, thoughts and opinions. So of course, Wrestlemania 41 was this past week. It was April 19th and April 20th. However, the celebrations started before that with WWE World and so much more. We're going to take a look at everything from the beginning of WrestleMania week to the end. So we're going to take a look at everything starting from the SmackDown before WrestleMania to SmackDown tomorrow night, basically. So we're going to take a look at everything that happened in a week in wrestling. So I think I'm pretty much guaranteed for this to be the best video ever I've done, or basically the longest video. I'm pretty sure it will be the longest video I've done, and my last video was 50 minutes long, which was a long time, and that was my WrestleMania 41 predictions video, and I do think this video might even be a bit longer. Now, as I mentioned, my predictions was my last video, and we're going to run through what happened at WrestleMania in this video. We're also going to take a look at my predictions to see which ones I got right and I got wrong. We're also going to talk about my show scores and what I think was good and bad. We're even talking about WWE World, the Raw after Mania, and even a bit of the first NXT after Stand and Deliver, and so much more. So let's get into it. If you're excited, make sure you get your popcorn, sit back and relax, because this one is going to be a long one today. So as you see, we're starting off with WWE World, and as you can see here, we have a Triple H wax figure. To be honest, once you're far away from him, it kind of does look like Triple H. But once you see this head scan up close, it's kind of scary. It looks like something you see in your nightmares. It doesn't really look like Triple H, but I see where they're getting it from. It's kind of creepy, alright, but it was a good thing to have. And of course, Triple H was going into the Hall of Fame this year, and we'll talk about him a bit later on. And I mean, it was alright. This head scan thingy, some people are absolutely hating on it, and I think that's a bit too far now. People are discriminating this so much, and I don't get the hate behind it. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, it's kind of odd. So yeah, Triple H wax figure. Yeah, this also appeared at WWE World. It was Frosted Yeets. I'm pretty sure it's a new cereal. It might have only been for like WrestleMania World. I don't think you can buy it anywhere else. I think it's just WrestleMania World. You can see it on the right hand side there, the smaller box, and of course on the left hand side is, I won't even get a picture with, and that is from Dame Dawn. Okay, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, credits to Dame Dawn, because I took that photo off of him. Of course, that must be him there posing with his son or somebody. But yeah, as you can see, there's a big version, of course, which is just for pictures, and there's also a version you can buy. So if you look in the packet, they look like kind of chips, like crisps, kind of, but they're obviously a cereal, I'm guessing. And on the bottom right, it says, "Make your breakfast main event," which is obviously a cereal if it says breakfast. Of course, this is definitely, a lot of kids are going to buy this more than adults, because of course Jey Uso, he's the man on this. You're not going to put somebody like Carmelo Hayes on this. You're not going to put somebody like Finn Balor on this. You're not going to put a heel on it. You're going to put a good guy that is so good for your marketing, and Jey Uso is that man. You can see him yeeting with children every week on Raw. Like, he grabs a child out of the crowd, yeets with him, the child loves it, the child goes buying these. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is definitely very good for marketing. I don't think you can buy it anywhere else. I think it was just exclusively for WWE World. Not too sure though. Yeah, and then we move on to this here at WWE World. You can see this big, huge board, this big, huge sign, and it says "Thank you, Cena," of course, with the farewell tour logo on it. And it's a big, huge sign where WWE fans, John Cena fans, can write on it, and they're saying thank you. And I'm pretty sure this will be given to Cena at the end of the year once he retires. Now, as you see on the right, there's a bit of a writing that somebody took a picture of. It says on the top of it, "Thank you, Cena." Of course, with the UK sign, obviously, they must be from the UK. And then in the middle of it with the black writing, you see John Cena rules. P.S. AEW sucks, which is a fun little message, as this, of course, is WWE and the rival company AEW. But yeah, it's something cool they're doing, and it will be given to Cena at the end of the year. And something fun that people were suggesting or predicting was John Cena would come out at WrestleMania with this and burn on fire. That would have been really cool, but unfortunately it did not happen. So yeah, earlier I mentioned about the WWE Hall of Fame. At WWE World, there's a Hall of Fame section where there's like memorable stuff from these superstars going into the Hall of Fame. Of course, we had Michelle McCool going into the Hall of Fame. She had some kind of her old attires that were hung up there, I'm pretty sure it was. And of course, you see this for Triple H. This is what Triple H came out to at Wrestlemania. You see Stephanie McMahon. You can see her attire. She's obviously not getting inducted, but look, they're husband and wife. And yeah, it's very cool to see from Triple H going into the Hall of Fame this year. We'll talk about a bit more Hall of Fame stuff later after we talk about our SmackDown section, because of course we're going in order of our stuff. And yeah, look at this. This is magnificent. We have Eric Rowan, you see on the far left, which is so good, and the height is really good too. You see Nikki Cross beside Rowan, and then you see Mr. Joe Gacy or Uncle Howdy. You see sorry, did I say Joe Gacy? I meant to say Bo Dallas, but yeah, Joe Gacy is beside him with the kind of green head scan, which obviously won't be used. It's just for making them. And then you see we have Dexter Lumis, which is actually completed, and of course you see at the end the legendary Wyndham Rotunda Bray Wyatt. I think it's a new figure as well, so that is very cool to see, and I'm really glad they put Bray alongside these new Wyatt 6 figures. So once the Wyatt 6 come out, I really want to get my hands on them. I don't know if they're going to do a huge multi-pack. I'd expect them to do eventually. But yeah, that is very cool. So I think that's it from WWE World. I think we're going to move on to a bit more Wrestlemania related now. But yeah, WWE World is very fun each year. There's so much you can do. Take pictures, get cameos, meet wrestlers, look at some other stuff. Pat McAfee shows at WWE World so much, and of course there's so much figures that came out during this. And I don't know if you know this about me, guys, but I collect a lot of action figures, and I have a lot of action figures in my wrestling area I have here, and it's very unique. I should show them sometime. I don't know when, or should I do a action figure toy hunt? It would be interesting, I don't know, but let me know if you want to see that. So yes, as I just mentioned, we're done with WWE World. Now, WWE World continue through the whole weekend, but of course, we're not going to cover every single thing, or else this video is going to be like 7 hours long, because there's so much. And the entranceway, actually, for WWE World was quite unique. I had loads of the former Wrestlemania signs and all. It was very cool. But yeah, on to this now. As you see, the WrestleMania 41 stage was revealed. I think this was on Friday night evening, don't know when it was, but the Pat McAfee show was on, and this kicked off the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee, he hit a button and all these fireworks went off, and it revealed this stage was very unique. Stephanie McMahon came out and said welcome to WrestleMania. It was a very cool way to unveil this stage, and it's a great stage. Some people are saying top 5 stages of all time, and yeah, it's up there. I don't think it's better than 39. It's definitely better than 40, but this one is very unique, and it was very good. Yeah, this was also on Friday before SmackDown, I think it was. We had WrestleMania 41 kickoff show, and it was a great show. There wasn't much talking points, of course. It's just the usual Michael Cole and Pat McAfee interviewing superstars, and superstars talking beef about each other. But I only put this in because it's the main talking point that came out of the kickoff show, and it was Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest that they brawled everywhere. They were going at it, and of course you see Pat McAfee there. You see officials separating them. It was quite funny. Pat McAfee had like a microphone, and you just heard him saying, "Hey, hey, hey, hey." It was very funny. But yeah, a bit more on Pat McAfee later in this video when we talk about Monday Night Raw, because we see what happened with him, Gunther, Michael Cole. I don't know why I laughed so much during that segment, but Michael Cole risked his life, and I think his life is in jeopardy, which isn't good for him. So yeah, that's it from the kickoff show. Of course, there's guests on the show like Gunther, Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca, all of them. But I just didn't include it because like they're not huge talking points. They're just talking about the usual. Oh well, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna be a better champion. You know how it goes. So this is the really main talking point, because these two actually start brawling or fighting each other. And yes, now we move on to Friday Night SmackDown, and this is interesting because we done a video a couple of videos ago, and I was predicting the 2025 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, and I had a few suggestions. I think I said Rey Fenix. I think there was a Ludwig Kaiser in there, maybe a Karrion Kross, but it ended up being Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes won the 2025 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown. It was a great match, great moments. Rey Fenix was in the match. As I said, Karrion Kross, Ludwig Kaiser, and I was a bit confused when Kaiser and Karrion got eliminated. But yeah, I'm happy that Carmelo Hayes won it, because it isn't a horrible winner. It's a unique winner, and it's a great way to start off Carmelo's kind of first major win for something like a title or a cup or a trophy on the main roster. And of course, the whole SmackDown was just basically almost like the kickoff show. There was, of course, a few matches, good matches, but most of the show was kind of video packages addressing WrestleMania 41 and the build and the hype, okay? So then we got to our main event. John Cena, he appeared, he came out, so was Cody Rhodes, and Cody actually got booed by the crowd, booed in Las Vegas, and didn't go well for Cody. And then John Cena tried to attack Cody Rhodes, but that did not go well for Cena, as Cody Rhodes hit him with a crossroads one night before WrestleMania 41. And then after the SmackDown, I think this started at 1 a.m. in America, which is quite crazy, and this then started at 6 a.m. UK time, which was disgraceful. It was 2 hours after SmackDown, which was, I don't know how some people stayed up for this, but yeah, there's so many inductions. Of course, natural disasters, Lex Luger, as you see on your screen, Michelle McCool, and Triple H, and there's a good few more as well. So of course we had Shawn Michaels inducting Triple H into the Hall of Fame, and yes, Shawn Michaels and Triple H kissed. If you heard the rumors, yeah, they're true. They kissed. I seen it live, and I was quite confused. I was the shocker the whole WrestleMania weekend. But yeah, Shawn Michaels inducted Triple H, and of course Michelle McCool's husband inducted her into the Hall of Fame. Of course, being the dead man, The Undertaker. Both of these had fantastic speeches. That's why I put them up on the screen in the screen instead of any other. Michelle, she was like, if you don't think you can do it, do it. And it was like an inspirational speech, and it was very unique, and it was a good speech. And then Triple H, he's a new world record for the longest Hall of Fame speech ever. I think his speech went for an hour and 30 minutes, which is like crazy. The whole Hall of Fame show was like 4 hours long, which is almost the equivalent to how long WrestleMania was. So that was quite crazy. But yeah, Triple H and Michelle McCool and so many others are now inducted to the Hall of Fame, and they are rightly deserved to be in that position. Then we move on to Saturday, and we also had Stand and Deliver on Saturday. And before Stand and Deliver, of course, we had the Countdown show, and we also had a Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match on the Countdown show. And for some reason, Roxanne Perez was in this match. I'm so confused why WWE would put Roxanne Perez, a woman like Roxanne, on a Countdown show where like absolutely barely people watch, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people do watch it. It's just like they put her on basically a kickoff show of the biggest NXT event of the year, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley win this match. It was of course a number one contenders for the women's championship that would be defended at Wrestlemania, and they defeated the Meta Girls, of course, which was Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. They defeated Fatal Influence, and they defeated Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, which once again teamed up but then didn't go quite well. Surprise, Roxanne didn't win this. However, I did predict for Roxanne and Cora to win, but of course I should have knew that these two wouldn't be able to actually team up together. But yeah, so Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley win this match. So yeah, so now we move on to the actual Stand and Deliver card, and of course you see the first matchup I have here. It kicked off the show, I'm pretty sure it was, and it was Ricky Saints defending his NXT North American Championship against All Ego Ethan Page. This match, of course, was a great match. I predicted this match, of course. I predicted all the match, and I actually got this match correct. I predicted for Ricky Saints to win, and he did indeed in a great, great match to kick off Wrestlemania week. And yeah, fantastic match. Ricky Saints is still the champion. I predicted Ricky to win because I didn't think he was going to lose it that fast after he just won it. So yeah, Ricky Saints won that match and retained his title against Ethan Page. And then we had this, our second match. We had Hank and Tank versus the defending Nathan Fraser and Axiom defending their tag team championships. And I got this match wrong. I predicted Fraxium to retain because they're such a good tag team. I'm not saying these are bad or anything. But no, the odds were changed. Honk, honk, as you see. Hank and Tank are your new NXT Tag Team Champions, which was very great, of course, today. Muchly deserved after trying to find their path, trying to become new tag team champions and trying to be a good tag team. They were confused. They didn't know what to do. They got advice off so many different teams. The Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, and of course the Hardy Boys, which was very, very iconic. So yes, we have new tag team champions after they defeated Fraxium, Hank and Tank. Honk honk. And then we had a women's ladder match. It was a 6-woman ladder match to determine the new NXT Women's North American Championship after Stephanie Vaquer vacated the championship because she thought women deserved more because she had 2 titles and she thought she needed to relinquish one, which she did, as she still has her NXT Women's Championship. So there was several superstars in this match. There was, of course, Sol Ruka's tag team partner, which was Zarya, was in this match. The returning Thea Hale was in this match. And some other women as well, like Izzy Dame and a couple more. Of course, as you see on your screen, Sol Ruka holding that championship as she 100% deserves to become new NXT Women's North American Champion, which she did. I predicted Sol to win that, but then I kind of changed my mind and went over to Thea Hale. Thea Hale, of course, I predicted her to win the championship, but of course I was wrong. And I'm honestly happy I'm wrong. I wouldn't have minded Thea Hale to be champion, but Sol Ruka, she done a soul snatcher from the ladder, and oh my god, it was so unique. It was one of the greatest moves I've actually seen in a while. One of my favorite move of all time in the WWE is a Canadian destroyer, and soul snatcher is a close second. Is a very unique type of move. So yeah, Sol Ruka is our new NXT Women's North American Champion, and this is much, much, much deserved. So then we have the family. We had Tony D'Angelo, Stax Lorenzo, and Luca Crucifino, otherwise known as the family, going up against Dark State in a 6-man tag team match. This match was good. There were some good moves. Dark State obviously putting on a good performance, and of course, tensions were rising between Stax and the Don for several weeks. Stax doing stuff without Tony's permission, and then we seen this here. You see it right in the photo. Stax Lorenzo turning on his best friend, the man he knew for life, Tony D'Angelo. This was crazy. Wasn't expecting it. Okay, I did suspect it, but a lot of people were shocked in the crowd, of course, because he turned heel. And yes, Dax turned heel as Dark State counter from that and win the match. This match was great. This match was um it was unique in a way because we haven't seen Dark State do that much in NXT, so seeing some of their moves was obviously good. And I did predict Dark State to win this. I'm pretty sure I also predicted Stacks or Tony to turn, which I got right, which is a double win-win. So yes, thankfully for that. But of course, the main talking point out of this is Stacks winning the match. Sorry, Dark State winning the match and Stacks turning heel. And we also had a lot more heel turns over the weekend, which we'll get to later in the video, which was a lot shocking. And then we had this crazy fatal four-way. This fatal four-way was so good. Of course, as you see on your screen, Stephanie Vaquer, she defended her championship against three other women, that being Jada Parker, former NXT Women's Champion Julia, and former TNA Women's Knockout Champion Jordynne Grace. And a fantastic fatal four-way. This match took the show. It was so good. It was, I don't have the words for it. It was magnificent. The great moves. Jordynne Grace always putting on a good performance. Jada Parker proving that she can do something. Julia, her new kind of heel character, is willing to do anything to win the championship. But the odds were stacked against Stephanie as she tried to defend her championship against three other fantastic women of NXT. But Stephanie did go well for that. Stephanie did retain her championship in the end after beating the odds, beating these three other women as she defeated Julia, Jada, and Jordynne Grace to become and retain her NXT championship title, which I did predict. So that is another good prediction for me. And then we had our final match of NXT Stand and Deliver 2025. And this triple threat match was an all-timer for NXT. We had Obafemi defending his championship against the young OG, Javon Evans and Trick Williams. For some reason, I predicted Trick Williams to win this match, which was, I don't know why I predicted that. I don't know why I think about that now, but it was a good prediction. But it obviously wasn't as good because Obafemi, he dominated. And for a second, I thought Javon was going to win the championship, which could have possibly been happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if Creative was thinking about that. But of course, they kept the title on Obafemi as Oba put on a fantastic performance, winning with two fall from graces to become another long-time reigning championship. And he will hold this title for a long time. He's like the Gunther of NXT. So yeah, as you see this now, we're done with NXT. It was a great show. I rated it a 3 out of 5. I got 3 out of 7 predictions right. The ones I got right was Dark State winning, Ricky Saints winning, and Stephanie Vaquer winning. Fortunately, I got all of the others wrong, but you think that's bad? Then wait till Wrestlemania, because So yeah, as you see on your screen, we had a countdown show to Wrestlemania. We get a countdown show every PLE, but this one was special. This one was 3 long hours long. So yeah, they gave us a 3 long hour show. They gave us a 3-hour show for Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, a lot to get through for this, and yeah. Countdown show, as I just mentioned, a huge sellout. A lot of people, as you see behind these 4 men, as you see the panel, we have Big E, Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole. Speaking of Michael Cole also announced that the match between Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano may not go ahead due to Rey Fenix getting an injury the night before on Friday Night SmackDown, unfortunately. We also had this huge shocking news. This blew the world. Wrestlemania 41 Saturday on the Countdown show, WWE announced that they just bought AAA Wrestling, AAA Wrestling in Mexico. This was huge news. We knew there was kind of a bit of a working together, but they actually acquired this company. They bought this company, which is huge news. And people are saying, could we get an NXT Mexico? But no, I think they're just going to keep it as AAA wrestling. And this is crazy news. And we see there's a superstar from AAA. I don't remember his name, but it's like LH or Hago or something like that. But the Mexican wrestlers, these luchadors, they are so good. And as you see, we have some luchadors there. Of course, we see legend Rey Mysterio, we see Rey Fenix, Penta, Andrade, Santos Escobar, and of course the NXT Women's Champion we talked about a bit ago, Stephanie Vaquer. Of course, we see Triple H there, Michael Cole on the panel, and of course some of the AAA executives. So yeah, huge news for WWE buying AAA, and we've a bit more to talk about as well because they also announced something huge. As I said about them announcing something huge, we see this. On the Countdown show, WWE announces Worlds Collide with AAA and NXT. This is on June 7th, Saturday, June 7th. Worlds Collide, AAA, WWE, NXT. This is going to be crazy. Now, of course, this is going to be with NXT, but we're obviously going to see some legends, at least from the main roster. We might even see definitely going to see Rey Mysterio here. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him. We might see Rey Fenix, we might see Penta, Santos. So yeah, this is a huge news for WWE and AAA wrestling, and huge achievement. So yeah, Worlds Collide coming to us Saturday, June 7th from Los Angeles. So yeah, as I just mentioned a few slides ago, Michael Cole announcing that Rey Mysterio may not compete, and that is confirmed. Rey Mysterio is not medically able to compete due to an injury he received on SmackDown the night before in a 6-man tag team match, I'm pretty sure it was. And it is very unfortunate for him. Of course, it's a real life injury, I'm pretty sure it is. And a night before Wrestlemania is not good at all. So there you see another luchador beside Rey is Rey Fenix. He was with Rey, and Rey said the match won't be called off. Just because Rey Mysterio isn't competing, it doesn't mean El Grande Americano can just get a free win. Therefore, Rey Fenix steps in, and Rey Fenix fills up Rey Mysterio's spot for Wrestlemania 41 as we get as it is announced that Rey Fenix will go up against El Grande Americano at Wrestlemania 41 later that day. So yeah, that's really it for them few shows, and now we actually move on to Wrestlemania Night 1, and yeah, very excited to talk about this next part now because we're actually getting to the actual main show. So yes, here we have Wrestlemania Saturday. Triple H, the CEO and new Hall of Famer, opens the show and he says the whole world is watching. This is the first Wrestlemania on Netflix for India and international crowds. And look at this sellout. We'll talk about the sellout a bit later as we got some legends to announce it. But wow, look at this. Triple H in the middle of the ring, and you see all those fans, and that is not it. It goes up way higher. The stage we talked about earlier, magnificent, beautiful, and yeah, so good. We talked about the stage in the last video, the predictions video, and yeah, the whole world is really watching, and Triple H was saying, thanks for being here, this means so much. And you know what he usually says, he says, welcome to Wrestlemania. And of course, great show it was. Let's talk about it right now. So as it was announced, Jey Uso versus Gunther kicks off Wrestlemania 41 as Jey comes right through the crowd. Of course, he usually does come from the crowd, but this is usually on Monday Night Raws or SmackDowns where the crowd isn't as big as this. But he comes through this big, huge crowd. Takes him about 7 minutes to actually get to the ring from the crowd. Of course, you know what the crowd would do. Touching him like, oh, Jey, autograph, signature, photo, you know how it goes. And Jey ignored all of that. He pulled the child out from the crowd, though I'm pretty sure it was, and yeeted with him. And I was here watching, typical me, stood up out of my chair, what I'm sitting in now, yeeting up and down, going crazy for main event Jey Uso as he is looking to become a new world heavyweight champion. As I mentioned, Jay was looking to become new World Heavyweight Champion, which he successfully did. Jey Uso beats Gunther. He made him tap out with a chokehold after a fantastic match. We didn't see a single super kick, thank God, as Jey Uso becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion as his brother returns to celebrate with him. So as we just talked about a minute ago with Jey Uso beating Gunther, that was the first match on the card, and it was also my first prediction of Mani to be wrong. Of course, I predicted Gunther to win this championship, although I did have faith in Jey, but I did pick Gunther for some odd reason. Check out the predictions video if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's my first prediction I got wrong of Mani more. But as you see right in front of you, it is the New Day. They become record-breaking tag team champions after beating the War Raiders, which I actually did get correct. I did think the New Day would win, and this was a fantastic match. Of course, you see them on the stage after they ran sprinting up the stage after they kind of cheated to win, as Kofi helped out Xavier, putting his foot down to not make Eric and Ivar kick out of the pin. So yeah, new tag team champions, the New Day. They continue a new fantastic reign as they are a record-breaking tag team champions. So yeah, another match I got wrong. Typical me. Don't worry, I got a lot of these wrong. I only got like 4 or 5 right out of about 14 matches, which isn't great. So as you see, we had Jade Cargill versus Naomi, which I obviously loved. I was very excited for this match after the build. We've had this build for months now, ever since November last year. And yeah, it's been iconic, this feud so far. Naomi makes her way to the ring with a new theme song, which is unfortunately horrible. Naomi, we can officially say that Naomi got death rebelled. So yeah, after Naomi, Jade made her way to the ring and she hit Naomi with a 5-star powerbomb. Now this powerbomb, she had Naomi on her shoulders and then she threw her up, turned her around, Jade turned it around and powerbombed her. And this was so good. I was very shocked when I seen this. I was not expecting that. I've never seen a powerbomb like this before. And then she hit Naomi with her finisher, of course, Jaded, to take the win. And I honestly thought Naomi should have won this match. I am happy that Jade won. It's just, if Naomi won, it wouldn't have buried Jade more, because this match kind of buried Naomi, and I think it would be way better if the heel in this match, Naomi, won, which of course didn't go well. I don't know, to be honest. It's not that big a deal that Jade won, but I think it would have been more preferred if Naomi won this match. So yeah, as you see this here, Jacob Fatu, he made his way to the ring with a unique type of mask with Solo Sikoa before the match, and he defeated LA Knight to become new United States champion. Of course, you see Triple H on the left, the iconic picture. Every time someone wins the championship, every time someone debuts, Triple H gets a picture with them, posts it on social media, and of course, you see it right in front of you right there. The United States champion is now Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, and I say he's going to go on a fantastic, fantastic reign with that championship. As I mentioned earlier about Rey Fenix taking Rey Mysterio's spot, he also took an L in this match. He took a loss in his Wrestlemania debut against another person debuting, which is El Grande Americano. As we did think was Chad Gable, we still do think that he hasn't got unmasked yet, but Americano did cheat using kind of a steel thing in his eyeball to hit him with like a headbutt, obviously knocking him out to take the win in this match. Then we got this highly anticipated match as Tiffany Stratton arrives at Wrestlemania with a unique entrant, an enhanced entrant, which is a Barbie box. She, of course, I seen an interview. She said she always wanted this. She wanted to arrive in a Barbie box, and of course, the whole stage was decorated a Barbie dream house themed, and of course, as I just mentioned, arriving in a Barbie box, which was actually kind of cool. Then after Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair arrives in a very, very fancy car, just like LA Knight did in his United States Championship match earlier that night. And yeah, very, very good match. And they did end up keeping it professional, as there's been some serious beef for the past few weeks. I actually made a video on it. Do Charlotte and Tiffany have real life beef? I talked about it in that video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. It's a good watch to watch anyways. But yeah, this match, it was a great match, and we'll get more into it now in a minute as we talk about the winner. So yeah, as you see, the winner, Tiffany Stratton, retains her WWE Women's Championship with a chipped tooth. That was a huge talking point. She chipped her tooth during the match, I think it was. And I also predicted this match for Tiffany Stratton to get her way. So yes, I did actually get a prediction right. Someone give me a round of applause, because Tiffany Stratton did beat Charlotte Flair, as I did predict, with a chipped tooth, which was very impressive for Tiffany Stratton to compete with that chip too. And I don't know at what moment in that match that did happen, but it was interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Tiffany's okay. Now, sorry about that, someone kept ringing the doorbell, but yeah, as I mentioned, Tiffany Stratton retaining her championship. And then we moved on to this, our main event, which was a crazy, crazy main event, which I actually thought I predicted Seth Rollins to win, but of course, typical me, picking CM Punk. Now, as you see, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns make an iconic entrance to the main event. CM Punk, he got an entrance by this Living Colour. Of course, they sang Cult of Personality. You see Seth Rollins, he went from all white to all black. And of course, Roman Reigns, with the amount of aura he just has. Very, very iconic. Yes, and then you see this here, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the face of Wrestlemania. This was unexpected. There was rumors for Paul to turn on Punk and side with Roman, but both of these were crazy. Just look at these photos. We seen Paul Heyman turn on CM Punk and turn on Roman Reigns. Two low blows. This was iconic. This will go down in Wrestlemania history, and just simply one word: shocking. Of course, Paul, he hit the low blow to Punk and Roman, but not Seth, as the rumors ended up to be true, as Seth Rollins leaves WrestleMania as the winner and the new Paul Heyman guy. So yes, that ended WrestleMania Night 1, and it wasn't the greatest show night 1, but night 2 was definitely much better. I rated the show a solid 4 out of 5. Then we moved on to this. It was the next day on Sunday before WrestleMania. We had the 2025 WWE Slammies, as Drew McIntyre won 3 Slammies, which was very great. He won Rivalry of the Year with CM Punk. He won Match of the Year, which was also actually tied with Cody versus Roman. And he won Social Star of the Year, as the Secret Herbis wasn't too happy with that. Very happy for Drew McIntyre. He definitely deserves these. If you watched my Slammy video, I did predict for Liv Morgan to become the female superstar of the year. I voted for Liv, and we got that indeed. Liv Morgan won the female superstar of the year. I thought Drew McIntyre would win the men's male superstar of the year, but it ended up being the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes won the male superstar of the year, and it obviously is much deserved for him. So then we had WrestleMania Night 2 on Sunday. We had Stephanie McMahon instead of Triple H opening Night 2 of WrestleMania, and she welcomes us to another iconic night of WrestleMania. So this was announced a couple of nights before that this match would open Night 2, and we had Io Sky. She made her way to the ring as she enters this match to defend her Women's World Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Now, in this match, I did predict, who did I predict? I have the sheet here. Yeah, I predicted Bianca Belair to win this. I was cheering for Bianca, but unfortunately, I was wrong, as you see right in front of you. Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io put on an instant classic. Now, this match was so good, but it ended up being Io Sky retaining her championship. From Stand and Deliver's Fatal 4-Way to this triple threat, so good match. So then we had our second match. We had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. We had Kerry King. He sings Damian Priest to the ring ahead of his Sin City street fight. Great performance by Kerry King as Priest made his way with loads of fire and cool stuff. So as I mentioned a bit earlier about the Slammies, Drew McIntyre won Social Star of the Year, and he continued that performance as he grabbed his brother's phone and he took a picture, breaking the internet again at Wrestlemania 41, as he took the phone off his brother, as I just mentioned, and took this picture, which was quite hilarious. And I think it's the banner on my Twitter account or X account, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this was funny. It was an interesting moment, and yeah, very cool. So yeah, Drew McIntyre beat Damian Priest with a cool, shocking Claymore as he Claymored his head through the chair. Of course, this match was anything goes because it was a Sin City street fight, as I did predict this match to be Drew McIntyre, as I got the match correct. Yay. Yeah, and then we had this Fatal 4-Way match. It was very, very interesting. Braun Breaker defending his Intercontinental Championship in a Fatal 4-Way. We had Cero Miedo, Penta going up against, as you see, Finn Balor, looking like a banana. Of course, the champion, Braun Breaker, and of course, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So yeah, this match was very, very good. We see both Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio blast off and go all out on each other, as this isn't an official heel turn by either of these, as these, well, at the moment are kind of both heels, but this isn't an official turn. As of right now, I think they're still friends, if you know what I mean. See, as I mentioned, this was a great match, but we did get a new Intercontinental Champion, and it wasn't my prediction. I predicted Penta to become a new champion, but that wasn't quite right. However, it was Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I'm happy for Dominic, and apparently now everybody loves him just because he won a championship. So yeah, great match. Dominic's the new champion. So yeah, as you see this, we have Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, and Karrion Kross, he causes a distraction, leaving Logan Paul to beat the Phenomenal One at Wrestlemania 41. This match was actually alright. It wasn't an all-timer or anything. I did predict, I'm pretty sure I predicted AJ to win. Where's my paper? No, I actually predicted Logan to win. Yeah, I got it right. So yeah, I predicted Logan Paul to win, which he actually did win. As you see, these 9 pictures on the screen there, 9 different camera angles, which was quite cool. We've seen a lot of different camera angles for Logan Paul, as he also lifted up a drone, which was kind of cool, went around the whole arena. But yeah, great match. Logan Paul won with the assistance of Karrion Kross. However, that wasn't Karrion Kross's intentions though. So yes, as you see this, we have Randy Orton. He made his way to the ring as he awaits his mystery opponent. Of course, he was meant to face Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens unfortunately witnessed a neck injury, therefore he was out for WrestleMania 41. So we are left with this. We are confused to see who his opponent was. I made a video to see 5 superstars who could potentially be Randy Orton's opponent, and I predicted Rusev to be his opponent. So I actually predicted the mystery opponent to win because I thought it was going to be Rusev, and I didn't think they were just going to bury Rusev like that on his return. However, we didn't get Rusev. Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry at WrestleMania 41. This blew my mind. This was the person at the bottom of the list I was expecting. And crazy enough, Joe Hendry's made more WrestleMania appearances than Trick Williams or somebody like that. I'm crazy. But yeah, TNA champion goes up against Randy Orton, and it was a great, great match it was. As I mentioned, I predicted the mystery opponent to win, but unfortunately, I was wrong, and I'm happy that Joe Hendry didn't win. This match was quite short, and an RKO out of nowhere done it. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins this match, as you see with this photo, and Joe Hendry was very, very happy that he got to wrestle at WrestleMania with somebody like Randy Orton. Then we took a bit of a break from all the wrestling, and at WrestleMania they announced for the Money in the Bank to take place at the same day of WWE X AAA wrestling. So it's the same day of this event. It is June 7th, and we have the Money in the Bank, and it's Los Angeles as well. So yeah, very interesting. Can't wait for that. You see some superstars on the screen: Jacob Fatu, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Penta, Rhea Ripley, Rey Mysterio, Charlotte, Jay, Bianca, Gunther, Seth. You get the gist of it. You see Tiffany as well. So yeah, that was interesting. Can't wait to see that. So yes, as you see here, huge shocker, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin arriving to announce the WrestleMania 41 Sunday attendance. Now, this wasn't good at all. Before he could get to the ring, he crashed his four-wheeler and ran into a fan sitting front row. Now, of course, I'm making that sound a bit too dramatic now. That sounds about, as John Cena would say, a clickbait question. But no, he actually ran into the barricade, of course, knocking down a fan. I'm pretty sure it was. This fan wasn't happy at all, but it was funny. I don't think I should say that, but yeah, it was a quite unfortunate time for the fan. But to be honest, if I got ran over by Stone Cold Steve Austin, I would say that'd be an achievement, to be honest. So yeah, after all the drama, he got into the ring and he announced Sunday's attendance. Sunday's attendance was a whopping 63,266. The night before, Shawn Michaels, he announced that it was like 61,000, and at Saturday they said it was a sellout, and they said the same for Sunday. I don't get how there's a 2,000 difference between the nights and somehow there's a sellout, but I don't know how that is possible. But yeah, once again, Stone Cold, he got into the ring and he said the attendance. I didn't think he was going to show up here, but he did, and he announced the attendance. After he announced the attendance, president of WWE Nick Khan, he approached the fan. Sorry, I spelled approach with two A's, but my bad. He approached the fan who was hit and he was just saying sorry. He most likely give them money at this point. Just please, don't sue us, don't sue us. But yeah, Nick doing a good thing. Think Stone Cold, he said sorry. I hope he did anyways. But yeah, fan got kind of ran over, and as you see with the photo, absolutely everybody is recording it. I would not like to be ran over, but yeah, that fan is now famous. He's most likely start a podcast, the fan hit by Stone Cold podcast. But yeah, we had that, and crazy to see. Wasn't expecting it. But yeah, 63,266 was the attendance. So yes, then we got back to the action. Earlier in the show, it was announced that Bayley is injured. Of course, she isn't actually injured. They just kind of buried her so she could be out with this match, which is very unfortunate, but kind of a good thing, because Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defended their women's tag team championships against Lyra Valkyria and a mystery opponent. And this, of course, was our co-main event. So yes, as you see here, big time, that's meant to say time, not time, because I don't know why she would be big time, but yeah, big time, Becky Lynch makes her iconic return to team up with fellow, did I say Elo? Okay, I meant to say fellow Irish woman, Lyra Valkyria. So yeah, Lyra's a two-time women's, not two-time, but she's a double champion. So yeah, two belt Lyra. She's our women's IC champion and our tag team champion with big time Becky Lynch. It's a huge achievement, and yeah, Becky gaining that win. Happy to see her back. Can't wait for her run. And of course, we'll be talking about Becky and Lyra a bit later in the video, because we all know what went down on the Raw after WrestleMania. And then we got to main event time. Both John Cena and Cody Rhodes walked to the ring in a very serious matter as John Cena entered his last ever WrestleMania. So yes, for this match, I did predict John Cena to get his 17th, as Travis Scott did come out to assist John Cena, but he did fail because he got a crossroads to his head. That was must delivered, because last time Cody and Travis was in the same ring, Cody almost lost his ear. And then Cena capitalized. John Cena becomes a 17-time. Why is it saying time? Is it autocorrect? Because I don't know what is going on. But yeah, that's meant to say time. Time. Come on. So yeah, 17-time WWE champion as history is made at WrestleMania 41. You see the Titantron back there. 17. And this is much deserved. Cena even gets a bit emotional. And I'm not going to say I did, but everybody kind of did, you know. This is the last WrestleMania. He walked into it, he walked out as champion, and this is very iconic, and I'm happy he done this. But he said he's going to be the last real champion. It's going to be interesting. We seen him in the post show. He said clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. But yeah, very, very iconic by Cena. So yes, as I was just mentioned about the post show, we did get a post show for Sunday, and here's how it went. So yes, every time somebody asked Cena a question, he said clickbait. But he also mentioned that everybody should tune into the Raw after Mania and see how he ruins wrestling. He said he's going to be the last real champion, and this isn't going to be good. Hopefully he doesn't actually fully ruin wrestling, but please, Cena, don't ruin wrestling. We literally do not need you to ruin it. Triple H was also there. He said the Raw after Mania is going to be huge each year. He said this one's going to be huge, and I was very excited for the Raw after Mania, like everybody else, because it's the biggest Raw of the year. WWE also announced this on Netflix coming this summer. WWE announces WWE Unreal coming this summer based on WWE behind the scenes and all loads of different stuff, and very, very interesting. Can't wait to see this. They're going to expose themselves apparently. Of course we know wrestling is scripted and all. Come on, it's still real, but you know what I mean. But they're going to unveil more of that and say like, it may be crazy what happens inside the ring, but it's more crazy what happens backstage. And I'm going to watch it. Very exciting. A lot of people are hyped about it, and I'm certainly hyped about it. Will you guys watch it? Let me know your thoughts down below. So yes, then we made our way to the Raw after Wrestlemania as John Cena opens and he says he's going to be the last real champion. He's going to retire with this championship. He said nobody's going to take it off him. You're going to have to make a new one. And then John Cena told everybody to take out their phones and take a photo. Then John Cena turned around as Randy Orton snuck up on him and hits him with the 3 most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment. Or KO, out of nowhere. And just this photo says it all. So unique. He snuck up out of the ring, and there's a behind the scenes footage of this going around of he was pretending to be a crew member and he got under the ring. It was very interesting and sly of him. So then we had the new women's tag team champions, which won yesterday, or well, whenever this was, you know. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria defended their titles against the Judgment Day in a Wrestlemania rematch. And yeah, the worst came to the worst for Becky and Lyra. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez become 4-time record-breaking women's tag team champions as Lyra Valkyria takes the pin. Becky Lynch isn't happy with this as she's very disappointed, and she turns on Lyra Valkyria and attacks her. Becky Lynch becomes a heel in a shocking turn of events on the Raw after Mania. Then we moved on to our next segment, and the New Day, they came to the ring. They told us about how they are the new tag team champions, record breaking, and they told us to bow down to them. Alpha Academy's Maxine Dupree then challenged the New Day to a tag team match. The New Day said no, but then Maxine said, "Are you scared?" The New Day was like, "No, we're not scared. We're going to do it." And then Otis and Akira got into the ring. They're getting ready for the match, and then weird music started to play. I didn't know what it was. My first instinct, I thought it was the White Six, but it wasn't their music. I was a bit confused. And then we seen Rusev pop up on the Titantron, and oh my god, I popped so loud. I screamed. I was like, oh my goodness, Rusev is here. Rusev is back in the WWE under the name of Rusev. Rumors are saying that he signed a 2-year deal with the WWE. He took out all of these. He made Otis scream in pain. What a return. I'm happy he is back. Then after the segment, we have Io Sky after her 5-star triple threat match on Sunday. She made her way to the ring to celebrate her championship win. Then we had NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer. She made her way to the ring and she said she wants to face Io Sky. this image is a bit blurry, but my bad. Io agrees and she wants to face her right here, right now. Adam Pearce, he makes his way out and he says he made the match official, as this match was such a good match. As I mentioned, the match was so good, but unfortunately it got ruined by NXT stars. We had Roxanne Perez coming out and beating up these women, and then we had Julia, of course. Of course, Julia is now a heel, unfortunately. And yeah, great way. And yeah, Julia and Roxanne take out Io and Stephanie Vaquer. And this match was great. It was very unfortunate to ruin. However, I see what WWE is doing. Both I don't see either Stephanie getting the pin or Io getting the pin. Although if it did have to come down to that, I think Io would have won the match. But very unfortunate that this match had to get ruined by two great superstars. So yeah, then Rhea Ripley comes out to the aid of Stephanie and Io, and as you see, look at the black eye on Rhea. Rhea stares down Io and she said she has unfinished business with her. Then we had main event Jey Uso as he has his new World Heavyweight Championship after he made Gunther tap out on Wrestlemania Night 1. And he's there to show off his new championship. He got the new side plates. He's yeeting. The crowd is yeeting with his gold glasses and the hype is hyping. Then Sami Zayn returned. We haven't seen Sami since I think it was Elimination Chamber after his iconic match with Kevin Owens. We also had Jimmy, Jay's brother, his twin. He also came out to the ring and they celebrate with Jey Uso. Not much, but yeah, just a little celebration for the new World Heavyweight Champion on the Raw after Mania. And then we had this, this was crazy. Gunther, he came out, he started complaining, and then he grabbed Michael Cole, he put him in chokehold, and then out of nowhere, Pat McAfee, huge right hand. This was crazy. I don't know why I found this so funny. I just wasn't expecting Pat McAfee to start flying in the air with a huge Superman punch, something you'd see from Roman Reigns. But yeah, then Gunther, he practically ends the commentating career of Pat McAfee. Don't think Pat can ever speak again. But yeah, that was crazy. Like, this was a huge talking point. But yeah, Gunther takes out Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Then Dominic Mysterio successfully defends his Intercontinental Championship after winning it the night before on Sunday. He defended it against Penta, which he did win with the aid of a returning JD McDonough. Thought JD would have been out for way longer, but he did indeed return after his crazy neck or back of his back injury. Happy to see him back. And then to close off the show, we had Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring with his new manager, Paul Heyman. The Cult of Personality then makes his way to the ring and beats up Seth Rollins, and then Punk then looks at Paul Heyman about to attack him, but then Seth jumps him from behind. Seth, of course, saving his new, let's say, wise man in this situation. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman stand tall until Roman Reigns' music hits. Roman, he comes to the ring, throwing hands at everyone, all out brawl. So yes, there you see the OTC takes out Seth Rollins with a huge spear and then hits Paul Heyman with a Superman punch. And then Roman Reigns was about to hit Paul Heyman with a spear. However, Roman is taken out by another spear by Braun Breaker. Oh my god, I popped so much for this. I didn't know who it was, and then Braun Breaker took his hood down. Braun Breaker is now aligning himself with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. And oh my god, this is why he lost on Sunday. I am so hyped for this. This is going to be so good. And then you see the close off the show, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman stand tall with a dead CM Punk and Roman Reigns on the Raw after Mania. The Raw after Mania, it was so good. Very interesting. Great show. And yeah, can't wait to see where this goes. Will we have any more members? Will we see Becky Lynch join because she turned heel? Will we see Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, Karrion Kross? There are some names that have been thrown out to joining this because this is practically the new Evolution. So yes, as I mentioned, the Raw after Mania ended, and then we got some news, and of course, this news coming from WWE, of course, and they announced that the Survivor Series 2025 Survivor Series will be live from San Diego coming this November, Saturday, November 29th, which is crazy. By the way, can we point out that usually it says War Games, Survivor Series War Games. I'm really happy that it doesn't say Survivor Series War Games. Not because I don't like War Games. War Games is actually alright. But we might go back to traditional 5-on-5 matches, which is what I actually do like. So yeah, there's a trailer there was for WWE Unreal, as I mentioned earlier, and in the trailer we've seen a sneak peek. As you see, usually on the right hand side of your screen you can see a little photo that was released, and it was actually a leaked WrestleMania 41 potential card that they did have. And as you see, some of the matches that they had in store, they had the Women's World Championship on the line, Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. No Io Sky, shocking. We had WWE Women's Championship, Jade Cargill versus Nia. They weren't going to give Tiffy that championship. She might have cashed in that match, but that was crazy. Jade Cargill, she must have won the Royal Rumble then, but she got injured. We had the White Six versus the Judgment Day, which was the plan all along. But of course, we don't know what's going on there. See the Women's Tag Team Championships, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Io and Asuka, which was kind of crazy, but then we move on to this part now. With the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Seth versus Gunther. No Roman Reigns on this card whatsoever. We had Bad Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio. Don't know where WWE is going with this. And we had this iconic match, Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre. Yes, please, I would have wanted that so much. No Roman Reigns on this card. Crazy. But yeah, WWE, would you have liked this WrestleMania card? I don't know. Bad Bunny, I would like to see him Bad Bunny. I love his Bunny Destroyer, as I mentioned. Mexican or Canadian Destroyer is my favourite move. So a Bunny Destroyer is what I like. Then we move over to the first NXT after Stand and Deliver. The show kicks off with the new Women's Tag Team Champions after beating Becky and Larry just a night before. Of course, the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They defend against Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, who won on the Countdown show to Stand and Deliver we talked about earlier to earn them this championship opportunity. So yeah, it was an okay match, and it ended up being Liv Morgan and Raquel retaining this championship and going on another iconic run with these titles. Now, we're not going to talk about everything that happened here on NXT. We're only going to talk about a few bits, and a bit of a talking point was this. The NXT Heritage Cup champion challenges Ricky Saints to a winners take all match next week on NXT for both Heritage Cup and North American Championship. However, Lexis King is forced to defend his cup against a mystery opponent, like right there, right now. And the opponent reveals to be a returning Noam Dar. Noam Dar got injured by Ethan Page a couple of months ago, and we haven't seen him since. And then we've seen him now. He's returned looking to gain back his Heritage Cup championship. As I said, Noam hasn't competed in several months, and in his first match back, he captured the cup, beating Lexis King. And then we had this. Obafemi gives Javon Evans his flowers and says he still has no respect for Trick Williams. Then Williams says he wants one more match, a one-on-one match. Trick and Oba are then interrupted by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, he was at Wrestlemania, and now he is here on NXT again. Then the TNA champion Joe Hendry and NXT champion Obafemi take out Trick Williams as Joe Hendry and Obafemi stare each other down. And then to close off the show, NXT Women's Champion beats Roxanne Perez in the main event of NXT to retain her NXT Women's Championship. So yeah, that really was about it for NXT. There's some talking points, some that weren't really as major. The NXT After Stand and Deliver, it was alright. Raw After Mania was so much better. However, we're missing a show, and that is SmackDown. At the time of recording this video, it is Thursday, the 24th of April, and tomorrow is the 25th. Of course, the first SmackDown after WrestleMania. And it is going to be a good show, but I'm recording this on Thursday because there's so much I need to talk about. So I will be not giving you my thoughts and opinions on SmackDown because obviously it hasn't happened yet, okay? However, I will give you a preview of this week's show. As you see here, the Street Profits will be defending their tag team championships against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano of DIY and Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, in a tag team tables, ladders and chairs match. That match is going to be good. Don't know who's going to win it. I'm pretty sure the Street Profits are going to win it. However, just because it is the first SmackDown after WrestleMania, we got a title change on Monday. We got a title change in NXT. Will we get one here? I don't know, but I have a feel like that the Street Profits are going to retain. We're also going to get the mystery person revealed. We've seen this vignette on SmackDown for several weeks, and then last week we seen 4th of the 25th, 2025, obviously, which is tomorrow on SmackDown. So hopefully we get the mystery person revealed, and it's most likely going to be Malachi Black. And yes, finally, we have come to the end of today's video. Guys, thank you for watching so much. It's been a great video. So much talking points. It's been a great WrestleMania. And I hope a lot of you enjoyed it because I surely did. What did you think of WrestleMania? Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. It was a great WrestleMania, a great Stand and Deliver, fantastic Raw After Mania. NXT was great. Hopefully SmackDown will be. Huge attendance for WrestleMania. And this video, it's long, but I don't know how long it's actually going to be. I can't see how long it is, it says here. But I did say at the start of the video this might be my longest video ever, but I'm second thoughts about that because I actually kind of flew through this. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. WrestleMania was great. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Thanks for the support. And remember to always stay tribal.